say that the more I watch The Devil Wears Prada, the more I'm like, I got it. Because they think that the way you have style is by buying it.
Yeah.
So being in this position means a lot for me and also for all the people who came before me who didn't get that opportunity. Feeling like, oh, damn, maybe I don't belong in this room.
Close your legs to married men.
The queen of
The
all
queen of
housewives.
Hi Queens, welcome back to Style Unlocked, where I sit down with our stylish faves, play some fashion trivia, rate some celebrity looks, and talk through their personal style journey. I hope these conversations help you unlock your personal style. As the current editor-in-chief of Marie Claire magazine, the previous senior digital director of Harper's Bazaar, and a resume that includes editorial positions at Elle, Glamour, and GQ magazine, Nikki Ogunnaike's career as a fashion journalist is one only that most people could dream of. She's currently the host of Nice Talk with Nikki for Marie Claire magazine and can be found jet-setting internationally, marathon training, and enjoying fabulous wine in her downtime. Please help us welcome my next guest to Style Unlocked, Nikki Ogunnaike. Yes?
Yes.
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Before we get started, tell us about your outfit today.
Oh.
It's literally so you. Like, it's your signature look.
It's true. When I was getting dressed this morning, I was like, okay, what am I going to bring to the queens? So the top is J. Crew, as you could
So on brand.
as you could have guessed. Signature red. I love wearing red. I think it really pops.
It is
my
such
skin.
your color.
Thank you. So top is J. Crew, jeans are Levi's, boots are Margiela Tabbies, which very controversial.
We love, but
listen, I have them in 3 colors. I think they're the perfect shoe.
Classic. If you were an outfit, this is what you'd be.
This is what I'd be.
Okay, we're gonna start with some career-related questions, just for anyone who's unfamiliar.
Okay, so I am the editor-in-chief of Marie Claire, which traditionally would have been, just overseeing the magazine, but the job has expanded so much over the last, I would say, 15 years or so. So I oversee the magazine, which comes out twice a year. We have 4 digital issues that we put up on the site that come out 4 times a year. Okay. The team that oversees the website, social media, video. I have a podcast. I write a newsletter. So it's a little mix of everything.
Yeah, and literally all verticals.
All verticals, all platforms.
I love this question. When people hear the title, editor-in-chief, we often are left with images of Miranda Priestly and Devil Wears Prada. What would you say are some common misconceptions about your job?
Listen,
are you the Devil Wears Prada?
I will say that the more I watch The Devil Wears Prada, the more I'm like, I got it. She's busy. Like, I don't get the disrespect. Like, I'm not throwing my coat at anyone. I'm not making people run out and get my lunches, but I do understand the, why isn't anybody ready?
I have to make a million decisions today, and I'd like to make this one.
Today, please, at some point. And it's like, there is this sort of there is a lot that goes into this role. So I understand, expecting the people around you to be super sharp and on top of it, because I, as the editor-in-chief, am expected to do that. And so a lot of it is building a team. I think building a team, empowering them to do their best, but really setting them up for success along the way.
I love that. But yeah, so kind of. Because it's also only one of you, right? So I would assume everyone also wants your ear, wants your input. So it's when I'm coming around.
Yeah, catch me if you can.
And then when you have my attention, you have to be.
Yeah.
I love it all. How has your experience been when it comes to climbing the ladder as a fashion journalist, especially a Black woman within this industry?
There have been obviously highs and lows, but I really do look at the people that I've been able to know from the very beginning of my career. Shiona Turini, she's one of my best friends, and she's styling Beyonce. She's styling these incredible tours, these TV shows, and we've known each other for years. You look at Nicole Chapoteau, who's the fashion director at Vanity Fair, Tiffany Reed, VP at Bustle. These are the girls that we were just kids in the fashion closet together. So just having that little crew has been really, paramount, I think, to my success in this industry and my longevity in this industry.
Has to keep you motivated and just little nuggets of like joy too.
So, I mean, too much joy. Like, like when you see us laughing and kiking in the street style photos, like we're really having a blast. And like think about how fortunate we are to like twice a year go to Paris with each other and just like, you know, hang out, see beautiful clothes. Like it's but
then still like have each other and like
in the downtime.
That's like the worst part. I feel like it can be the like loneliness of feeling.
Truly, exactly. Like when you're the only person and you're sort of like, well, where are my
feeling
othered friends? Feeling othered, feeling like, oh damn, maybe I don't belong in this room. But then you see people across the way. There's a camaraderie. Like, you know, the Latinx editors know each other, but like they also know that like the Black editors know what we're all going through. Like we're all going through something similar, kind of. And so we've all been able to sort of like, you know, to mob up a little bit.
And I feel like
we're in it together.
That's the first, you're kind of that like first wave of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Sister circle.
Oh,
kind
absolutely.
Of, you know,
yeah. Like
15 years ago, it would have just been like,
no way.
Alone on the island.
Absolutely. I mean, I look at people who didn't get the opportunity to be editor-in-chiefs. My sister, Nikki Ogunnaike, is an incredible journalist. Thank you. Incredible journalist. She could have easily been an editor-in-chief, but the rooms were not welcoming to people like her, you know, 15, 20 years ago. And so being in this position means a lot for me personally, just because of like, you know, my career and how much I've been trying to work to get to this point, but then also for all the people who came before me who didn't get that opportunity.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
I think it's super important for people to stay like inspired and keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like we can get almost intimidated by the thought of what it might be.
Of course.
Where you're just like,
yeah,
it's gonna like not be a great experience, so let me not even try.
Or it's gonna be too hard, or I don't know if I can do it. But I mean, I was actually telling my boyfriend about you two this morning because I was like, it's been really great to watch your career journey and like your evolution. And I remember, you know, I've been following you for forever, and I remember just in the beginning to like how far you've evolved now has been really inspiring to me as well.
We can do anything. That's why I literally think, I know I'm going to work hard enough.
Listen, I've seen you work hard. I've seen it.
So I'm like, and then if I don't, then, you know, we try the next thing.
You'll do something else.
We move.
Yeah.
Okay. You recently celebrated your 1-year mark at Marie Claire. What have been some highlights of your time there so far? Like favorite moments.
Favorite moments. I mean, so we just dropped our September issue with Halle Berry on the cover.
Stunning.
Thank you. That was a career high for me because it was like the culmination of all I'd been doing over the past year to get Marie Claire to a really good place. Halle Berry is obviously an icon.
Like I feel like that's so like our generation's icon too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was the Changemakers issue. So to be able to like pay, you know, respect to her in that way. And then my sister wrote the story. So it was all just like a full circle sort of moment for me. So that was really a career high. And then getting my podcast, Nice Talk, off the ground has been really fun. We've been able to talk to so many interesting people about money and style and power.
It's so fun and smart.
Thank you.
It's hard. You know, there's not a lot of...
Fun and smart. It can be tough. It can feel like homework. Like a lot of these things can feel like homework sometimes.
Like that's what we try to do, but it's such an interesting space.
Yeah.
And to get people interested.
Right.
Sometimes. Like this is, I want you to have a good time and have takeaways. We can do both.
And that's the thing where it's like, I love talking about style. We're going to talk about style a whole bunch. But what I really like about working Marie Claire and the work that I've been able to do there is like, I can bring in the power conversations. I can bring in the money conversations, which frankly, like a lot of women don't have access to. A lot of women of color don't have access to. Black women don't have access to. And so to be able to do that all for work is great.
Was that your idea? Oh, I love that. You were just like, I have this thing.
Well,
we should do it.
I wanted to launch a podcast.
Okay.
I think podcasting is so fun. It's something that I listen to more and more now that I live in Brooklyn. And so I wanted to launch a podcast, but I didn't know exactly what white space we could sort of fill. And then I was talking to my boss because she has a podcast called Second Life. And I'm in a little bit, I was like, okay, what if I take a little bit of Second Life? I take a little bit of like the money conversations that I'm just having with my girlfriends. Of course, there has to be fashion in the mix.
Right.
And then I wanted to call it Nice Talk because I feel like those three things are things that nice women don't talk about or we're traditionally told we should not discuss. And so I said, let's open up a space where we can have this nice
which is why people get left out of the conversations and are not empowered.
Well, yeah, because we're conned into believing that we should not talk about money.
When, like, men do. And other races do.
All the time.
Yeah, I love that it's such a diverse also mix.
Thank you.
It's just smart and funny. Thanks. I love it. Okay, now let's get into your personal style. Speaking of personal style. We love to ask people to describe their style in 3 words.
Oh, okay. My personal style in 3 words is classic.
So classic.
Sporty-ish. Timeless. But timeless in the sense where, like, it really is me. And, like, I think Margiela boots stand the test of time.
Not timeless in the, like, cliche.
No, not timeless in, like, oh, you have to wear, like, khakis and trench coats only, and those are the only, or, like, ballet flats, and they're the only things. It's, like, just stuff that feels timeless to me.
Who's your fashion icon and why?
Oh, fashion icon.
And it could be now, it could be when you were growing up, it could be...
Yeah. Jenna Lyons has always been a fashion inspiration to me.
Makes so much sense.
Doesn't it? Yeah. When my boyfriend found out, he was like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Like, I see.
Yeah. No, Jenna has always been a style icon to me. I think the way that she just, like, mixes and matches and really stays true to her sense of style, and has over the last, like, 20 years.
It's so flawless.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And I look at photos of her from, you know, Met Gala 2015 or whatever, and she's just wearing her own style, and it just works.
Your go-to outfit formula.
You're looking at it. This is
a crisp shirt, nice jeans. Is there a certain cut of jeans? Brand?
Oh my gosh, brand. It's usually Levi's, Citizens of Humanity. Those are the 2, honestly, and those are the 2 because I have a small waist and I have a big butt.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Citizens been holding it down for a while.
That's the thing. I don't get that, like, waist gap in them.
If you had to choose one brand to shop at for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I mean, I would say Ralph Lauren, honestly.
That makes sense.
Unexpected. No? Makes sense?
No, it does. Honestly, you know why it makes sense? Because they're doing some cool things now. So, like, you have the classic timeless things that obviously you would gravitate towards, but they also have some, like, they have some good bags, they have some good shoes.
Bags.
So, that are, like, interesting and kind of on trend, but again, not too trend.
Exactly. Yeah, but then every once in a, like, Ralph is really interesting to me because his references obviously is Americana, but then you see Americana, like, mixed with Japan, and then it's influenced by Japan and then comes back to Americana, right? And he has, obviously, under Ralph Lauren, he's got Double RL, he's got Ralph Lauren Purple Label, Polo Ralph Lauren, which is incredible.
You could literally get everything.
Everything you need.
Into the theme of this episode for you, which is the business of fashion, obviously. What would you say are some of the biggest changes to the fashion industry, consumer trends that you've noticed in recent years?
The one consumer trend that I've noticed that I'm actually guilty of is not browsing. Like, do you ever just go into a store?
Never.
You ever just go into, like, a Nordstrom and walk around, try things on? You know what?
I just recently started doing it for content.
Right?
Because one, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
But people love it.
Right.
Because they're like, I don't want to do that. To your point. And they're like, oh, thank you. So now when they go in, they just want to go to the thing. So they're like, oh, thank you for that. Because I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Right.
Just leisurely.
Like, I would spend, when I was in my early 20s, I would spend Saturdays, we would just go to Soho.
With nothing in mind.
Nothing in mind. Just pop into the stores, talk to, like, the shop girls. What's selling? What are people liking? Like, just doing that really sort of, like, on the ground, like, pounding the pavement market research that just doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's sad because I think a lot of people are having these conversations about, like, how do I find my personal style? And how am I going to dress the way I need to dress? And it's like, well, if you're not outside observing things, or if you're spending all your day, like, locked into a device, like,
never.
It's so much harder. Like, you have to try.
So much of it is trial and error, which you used to do in stores. Like, in college, I worked at Nordstrom, and so much of that was, like, helping people.
Right.
Which is, like, where I found out how much I love this.
Cut, but maybe
but literally, I worked in the jean department. But it would be like, oh, I'm having a hard time with denim. Okay, let's try a bunch of cuts. Now, when we find the cut, then we find the wash, and then now we can style around these jeans, and then I'm helping you figure it out. But that takes time.
It takes time. I think that's the thing that people like when we talk about personal style. It's like, I want to find my personal style tomorrow. I'm like, well, that takes like actually 15 years like and trying things.
And I feel like even for me, I loved shopping, like the activity of shopping, even if I wasn't going to buy a lot of things. But honestly, COVID just took it.
I know.
It really changed. When I go shopping now, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, how did I used to do this for hours? Carry bags around.
I know.
And now I'm like,
but it wasn't like, oh, I have to go and I have to stand in line and I have to like wait. And like, I understand why the boutiques are like, nope, one person for each person who's coming in, and like, we have to be careful about the merchandise. I get it, but I do think it impedes the sort of like spontaneity of being able to go into a shop and just discover something new.
I always say it sucks the fun out of it.
Absolutely.
Where I'm just like, never mind.
I'll just go scroll. It's easier to like, sort by whatever, refine the search.
Availability of things. I don't want to order it in the store.
No, I'm going to order it online. So why did I come here if I'm going to order in the store?
I'm like, I totally get you cannot carry everything. Like, I get not having like a size or being out, but like just not having anything.
Then why do we have the store? And
I feel like brick and mortar is really important.
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
I think it sets the tone. It really like when you go abroad, I think like when you travel and you like shop in Paris or you shop in Milan, like you see a true shopping experience.
Yeah.
And it like takes you an hour to buy a pair of shoes, but they're like talking to you. They're gently wrapping your gift. They're like, you want some champagne, you want some water, like take your time. And it's a lovely shopping experience.
Yeah. We got to fix that.
I'll work on it. As soon as I can bring back.
Piece. We need people to like put the money back in the stores.
Listen, I think people are trying.
Because also I feel like the returns are getting crazy. It's like all of that would circumvent the loss in sales that if you just get people in the stores, but also you need workers, you need people in the store to attend to everyone and make an experience. Then you need the training and that needs to, especially because everything's so expensive. So who would you say holds the most sway and influence? The powers that be who are creating the designs for the large fashion powerhouses, or the everyday consumer?
Did you watch the Vogue documentary, the 90s?
No.
It's on Hulu.
Is it new?
Yeah, it's like a 6-part documentary. You have to watch it.
Thank
it's
you.
Actually
I absolutely do.
Really, really well done. And it talks about, so Tom Ford is on it.
Oh.
And he talks about his time when he started at Gucci in the 90s. I think it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And he said something that has kind of really stuck with me, which is that you don't listen to what people want, you tell them what they want. And I think there is a little bit of truth to that.
Yeah.
I think that if we listened to the everyday consumer, we would probably only wear jeans and sweatshirts and sweats and all of the things. But there is some thought leadership that needs to exist and needs to be done within the fashion space. And that's when people like, Tom Ford, like the powers that be, if you will, that see all of the things that are doing the market work, that are going to the 40 shows and a fashion month season, and then distilling it, knowing their audience.
Yeah. And that it has to get funneled.
It has to get funneled,
I think.
And that was the thing. Like, I could go on a rant about the TikTokification of the trend cycle that is like really
it's so disheartening.
I mean, it's just crazy because it makes everyone think that they have to buy something new every 2 minutes. Like, how do you go from cottagecore to mob wife? Like, that's not the same person.
It's so
and people are really taking these things to heart. So if you tell me last season that I could wear cargos and then this season I'm supposed to dress like Little House on the Prairie, like, what does that say about style?
Which one?
That is, which one?
Yeah, it's so frustrating. I always tell people I am not a salesperson. I am sharing what I like. I'm sharing my personal style and then I do things to also help you figure it out. But again, you may come over here and say, oh no, I hate this. Right? Then there's someone else that will help you figure it out. And you'll be like, oh, I'm kind of into this. But like, there's not enough thought.
There's not enough
into
critical thinking.
Yeah, because one, money doesn't grow on trees. Where's all this stuff going? Well, it's because people are buying it for $2 also.
Well, they're buying it for $2, or they're going into debt, or they're doing all of these things because they think that the way you have style is by buying it.
Yeah.
And that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah, the best part, and I always get this compliment, which I think is crazy, is that I wear my clothes.
We love wearing our clothes.
But that is the best part. And it's like when you can just flip that switch of like, I buy things and I wear it tonight, and I'm like, I cannot wait to wear this the next time.
I'm like, where am I going?
Oh my God. In my mind, you know, people will be like, oh, you should have worn it with this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to wear it 100 more times.
I'm just getting started. I'm sorry, what?
I have 10 outfits in my head.
Hello, that's why I bought the thing.
But like, that is the fun, that's the magic, that's working the muscle of like knowing what you like and what you, and then I might wear it and be like, oh, I hated this one, so we won't do that again.
So we're not going to do that look again.
But I'm glad we tried it
this way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it is somewhat of the powers at be, but I don't know.
Listen, I think the other part is that we, and myself in this position and my team in these positions, we really get to like look at TikTok and say, or social media or whatever, and say, these are the people worth platforming.
Yeah.
Right. So these are the trends that like are actually real trends.
Right.
And I know that because I've been doing this for the last 16 years. And these are the things that are kind of like going to fall by the wayside. Yeah. Or if you tell me that like clean girl, like you talk about clean girl aesthetic, like it's new. What? It was something like, you know, and it just like, that sort of context that comes from having done this for a while or being in these rooms for a really long time, I think it's something that, you know, somebody who's just starting out on a social media platform just simply doesn't have. But the people who are working on these social media platforms or within these platforms, they're not sort of encumbered by these guardrails that like I have, or these things that sort of like run in my head, like, oh, that's not the way we should do it because like whatever. Like there's a certain sense of freedom that comes with working in these platforms that I think is really admirable.
Oh, thanks. We have to use our tools correctly. Okay, so for those who may be listening and have a strong passion for fashion, but also great business acumen, what are some other career paths and industry opportunities or roles outside of the conventional fashion careers? And I love this question because there's so many things that unless you're in it, you just don't know the possibilities. Like everyone knows they can be an editor and a stylist.
Sure.
What other interesting roles are there that you just see like every day?
Oh, I mean, you could be a model agent. You could be a producer. Like I'm not the person, so we're shooting, you know, Halle Berry. Who's the person that's like calling the stylist, trying to book the stylist, who's booking, who's doing all the logistics behind it? That's a producer. So if you're really good at
there's a producer for shoots.
There's a producer for shoots.
I did not know that either.
Yeah. So the person who is finding the locations, or they're getting the permits for, you know, if we want to shoot outside, you have to have a permit to shoot outside. Yeah. Or you get a ticket. So
another way to do logistics if you love fashion. Right. You don't have to work for a trucking company.
No. Like you can
That's great.
Isn't that great? Yeah. Like there are all of these sort of behind the scenes roles that exist that people just like kind of don't know about, but they're not on the forefront. So if you love planning events, like you could work in the events arm of a PR company. KCD has like an events arm. Yeah. And they're the people who are on the red carpet at the Met Gala. Yeah. And they're the people that are working and helping plan the Met Gala. Wow. So there are all these kinds of roles, like beyond editor, like you have a manager. Yeah. Like you could be a manager. You like fashion, you could work with people who are in the content creation space. By the way, which were jobs that didn't exist.
Isn't it crazy?
10 years ago, 5 years ago.
I know.
So all of these new jobs are popping up. So I just think that people need to expand. When they say they want to work in fashion, they should expand the definition for themselves of like what working in fashion means.
And I think keep in mind their abilities and like skill set.
All about your skill set.
Absolutely. Like, and not for, there's so much of like, I remember being in college and like, I changed my major so many times, right? You're just trying to force yourself into the box of jobs. Right. And even, especially at that time, I literally thought like, oh, okay, I'd love to write for a fashion magazine, but that's the only fashion job I could even think of to be like, okay, that's what the major could be.
I thought I wanted to be a buyer. Yeah,
I did that too.
But I thought I wanted to be a buyer and I became an editor-in-chief. I don't, like, what's the through line there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they're both kind of in the fashion industry.
Yeah, because, like, for buyer, then, like, we started, like, a bunch of math courses, and I was like, oh, wait a minute now.
Right. See, because
this is not using my skill set.
Not.
This is where I lack.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to be good at this job.
But that's the thing. I only knew of buyers.
Yeah.
And, like, thankfully, my sister worked in media, but she wrote for, like, Vibe and New York Times and Rolling Stone and those sorts of magazines. And so I was like, oh, I want to be a writer, or oh, I want to work in PR. But like working in PR can mean so many things.
And that's way different.
Exactly.
That would have been a much different experience.
I mean, extremely. I don't think I would have lasted, honestly.
It's a lot. PR is a lot. It's time for a game. And this is one of our favorite games called Who Said That? So I'm going to say a phrase.
Who said that?
Who said that? It's the perfect person. And this is, of course, Housewives Edition.
I love.
So first up, we're going to start with an easy one. Who gonna check me, boo?
She by Sheree.
Okay. Joggers. Yes.
Joggers.
Okay. Next up, your blood type is Pinot Grigio.
Oh my gosh.
You know this one, but it might be a little.
Your blood type is Pinot Grigio. That's giving either Beverly Hills or OC. No. But is it just Housewives?
Yeah. Do you want a picture?
Yes.
Let me see if I need. I don't know if this is gonna give it away.
What?
Come on, one
or
more
was
guess.
It like Nene to Kim?
No.
Who is it?
It is Kelly Ben-Simone.
Oh, to who?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I just have a little gif.
I love.
You smell like hospital.
Oh, Mary, of course. Salt Lake City.
You gotta see this on the screen.
What?
Okay, I feel like this is another easy one, but we'll see. Close your legs to married men.
The queen of all queen housewives. No one can do it.
And they really need to just. Well, they are bringing her back. No,
I don't know.
They really need. It's just
Lanithia. Is it Lanithia?
It is. Lanithia. Nene Leakes.
Bling bling bling.
Bitches is mad. All right. Be cool. Don't be all like uncool.
Uncool. Be cool. That's Countess Luann de Lesseps.
That's correct. You are really good at it. She's the Bravo queen.
Andy, if you're watching, I really want to be a bartender.
You really should.
I am dying to be a bartender and watch what happens.
You got to start this campaign.
I know.
Okay.
This one makes me laugh too.
Thank you. Because that's important. You know, you gotta.
You have to sell it.
So this one, I'm like trying to get it up. Okay, hold on. I lost my page just from laughing. Okay, here I go. Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, fucking everything.
Miss Heather Gay. Whoa, that was an iconic scene. That really, wow, that set them on a new level.
Oh my goodness, this is so fun. Maybe I should be an actress. It's turtle time.
It's turtle time. I love her. Wait, what is it? Wait, okay, wait.
You know her name. This doesn't show her name.
Ramona Singer.
All right, I think you win.
I think I won.
You missed one.
Okay.
That we can give you a pass.
And 1 out of,
Very good. You win. It's at least a passing grade.
I'm an expert.
Okay, time for questions with the queens. This is just questions for my audience.
Oh, cool. Okay.
What are some common mistakes you see people making in fashion journalism? This is from Sequins Sounds Sweet.
Oh, okay. Common mistakes. I think the most common mistake that I think people underestimate really is like reading. People don't read anymore. Like, you got to read the magazines. You got to read the newspapers. Yeah.
To be informed.
To be informed of the questions that you're going to ask. I think one of the reasons that you see celebrities or you see stylists and they look so annoyed in these interviews is because they've been answering the same question this day in and day out for like years.
Yeah.
Or they're asked a question and they're like, why would you, that relates to nothing we're talking about.
It's been such a learning for me doing this. Mm-hmm. And that is something I always tell my producer of this show. I'm like, I don't want this person to be asked anything they've been asked a million times. Mm-hmm. So we got to watch every interview. We got to read all the things, anything they've ever done, especially obviously relevant or like current. But I'm like, I don't want them to sit here
right
in their mind be thinking,
right.
And I also don't want to hear a response that I know we've all heard before. Like,
well, that's the thing. And like when you see these celebrities and they're giving the exact same response in every sort of like news clip or every morning show or whatever they're going on, it's because everyone's asking the same question. And so sometimes when I'm doing interviews, or when I did more interviews like in the past, I would say, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to talk about today?
I love that.
Because that gives the celebrity or that gives the stylist the opportunity to, you know, weigh in and sort of like steer the interview that they would want.
I love that. And it can make you stand out, and I think put you leaps and bounds ahead of other people.
Well, it shows that you're paying attention to details, right? Yeah. And I think that's a thing that's sort of missing when we talk about this as well, is that you can find, like, people really need to pay attention to like the really, really small sort of details, because those are the things that really make you stand out.
Yeah, it can get so lazy, and we rest on the celebrity of it all.
Right.
Right? Like, my goal isn't that you watch this because of who's on.
Right.
It's just because of what you're going to get out of it.
Right.
And the good time you're going to have.
Questions and yeah.
But not just because you see a face.
Right.
And and that's enough.
You'll learn something. Or somebody comes to this and they know that they're going to have a takeaway. They know that they're going to learn something from the person that you have on. It's really important.
But a lot of people just get the interview and they're like, I got the interview.
Right.
So, you know, it doesn't matter, you know.
And that's it.
I can just say I got it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's been the biggest challenge you faced working in fashion media?
I think not paying attention to what other people are doing. It's really hard to like not compare yourself to people. But as soon as you start looking somewhere else, or you don't, or you're like, well, why did that person get that? Like you're immediately, you're not being focused on what you need to be doing. You're focused on the external.
Yeah.
And that will be the downfall of your career.
Yeah. It's not good for your mental.
It's not good for your mentals. It makes you like, it doesn't allow you to stay true to who you are and what you want to do. Like, you can easily be swayed. And I think that one of the reasons that I've lasted this long in this career, honestly, and why people are enjoying Marie Claire is because there's like a focused, like a laser sharp sort of focus on what I'm doing, who I think our woman is, what we're bringing to the table for her. And I'm like,
which is so refreshing.
Thank you.
It's just like, there's something for everyone. Right. If we all just focused on our thing, our gift, whatever it is. It's very easy to like subconsciously pick up things, right?
Absolutely.
And then think you thought of an idea.
Or that you have to do that idea.
Yeah. Or like, oh, well, that's working. Yeah. Everything is for there's something for everyone.
Right. And you don't have to be everything to everyone. Right. I had an editor once tell me, you know, restraint is a superpower. Saying no is a superpower, and saying no, I'm not going to look over to what that person's doing, or no, that's not right for this brand. That's a great story idea, but that doesn't have to be a Marie Claire story, and that's fine. We can leave it to somebody else to do it.
That's a great tip. Sunshine Grace asks, should our personal style evolve as we age, change, and grow? How do we successfully update it and still feel like us?
No shoulds. There are no shoulds when it comes to fashion. Yeah. Right? So I think that's the first thing. Not feeling like you have to do anything. But I don't think there's any problem with experimentation. That's the fun part of fashion. I feel like fashion has lost its fun.
So that's literally our tagline, bringing the fun back to fashion, because it's gotten so serious.
It's gotten so serious.
Like,
so
you are going to get shot in the street if you wear an ugly outfit.
There's this like, this need to get it right the first time.
I know.
All the time.
I know.
But I think it's so funny, like I'm a millennial, so we talk about how like we used to go to clubs and like business casual. That's crazy.
It was a time.
Why am I wearing a suit jacket over an Hervé dress?
That's why I love blazers so much, still to this day.
But that's funny. And you learn from that. Yeah. So you're like, okay, maybe I'll wear the Hervé dress separately. I'll wear the blazer separately.
But you know what? I'm glad I did it then too.
Because I learned from it. And so I don't think you have to do anything with your wardrobe, but I do think experimenting is a part of the fun.
Because you don't even know what you don't like.
Exactly.
That's the best part. I look back, I do this thing where I'll like rate my best and worst outfits of the year.
I love that.
But it's like, that's funny to me. It's like, I don't look back at it like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just like,
that didn't land.
You know, in the moment I was really, but here's why. And then I'm like, it's knowledge.
And if you can look at a photo and be like, wow, damn, I look crazy. But in that moment, I was really feeling myself, then okay, I think that's a win.
I agree. Okay, we are going to end the episode with Name a Time When. This is our little reflection time. So name a time when you received a piece of advice that changed your outlook on life.
Oh, I receive so much feedback. I receive a lot of feedback that changes my outlook on life. But my sister, when I first moved to New York, said, "Don't embarrass me."
Oh.
And I think that really set me on a path.
I would think so. You were like...
exactly. I was like, yes, exactly.
That's enough for me. Name a time when you were so in love with your outfit, you didn't want to take it off.
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I love times like that.
That is a really good question.
Where you're just like, I got to find somewhere else to go.
Next man. I got to think. I went to a friend's wedding and I was wearing this like black off the shoulder dress and it was like very body hugging and like body was tea and I was just like, I killed it. Like I would like
I love those moments.
In this dress everywhere, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get a billboard?
Yeah, I mean, everyone.
Name a time when you were proud of yourself.
I have a lot of proud moments, and this is why I like to work out a lot, I have to say. Because and why I like to run races. So I've run 10 half marathons, I want to say.
Wild.
And I'm very proud of myself often throughout the training journey, at the end of the race, because with each moment, like the first time you run 5 miles, the first time you run 6 miles, 7 miles, all the way up to 13. I ran the New York City Marathon all the way up to 26.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I'm proud, like, yes, work always.
Yeah, but I love that it's a personal thing that is your proud moment.
Exactly.
Because you can't live to work.
You can't live to work. You have to have hobbies. You have to have outside things. You have to find validation within yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And running has brought me that.
Oh, I love that. Okay, last one. Name a time when you felt unstoppable.
Ooh. Actually, on a very good training run, I will say. Like when I'm like, damn, like nutrition was great. I hit my time. I got up that hill without huffing and puffing. I didn't feel like I was going to die on that 8-mile run. That's true. And like the playlist is good.
Yeah.
Like, that is when I feel like my ultimate best.
I love that. Oh, thank you for sharing. And thank you for being on Style Unlocked.
Thank you for having me.
We will link Nikki's everything below. Marie Claire below. Nice talk below. Anything else? I feel like you do so many things.
Newsletter.
Newsletter. Yes. I need to sign up for that. Is it Marie Claire or is it yours?
So it's Marie Claire's newsletter, but I write one specifically on Saturdays. It comes out called Self-Checkout.
We will link all the things below. I hope you are filled up. I hope you're inspired. I hope you're motivated to do all the things. And we'll see you next time. Bye.